The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman on this Friday, the 30th of May, the last trading day of the month. We're going to be looking at these monthly candles in a moment, but purely on a technical basis, let me just do this. So the Dow's now only down 6. It had been down 160. It was down quite sharply before. The futures were down 275. But now we're back. And one of the reasons that I mentioned, and I've made a big deal about it for my subscribers to the opening call, is that you cannot anticipate a really big down move until you get bad news. So I'm going to start off with this chart, and I'll do it this evening when I do my the late after the market closes today, when I do my market overview, probably an hour long, maybe even more, overview of the market for subscribers to my opening call, and just explain as I see it. I did this earlier. I did Tommy's show because Tommy couldn't, he had to be out, and this morning at 9, but I'm going to do this again. So I'm putting this in only to show you what I might have to do. So you see these little white rectangles here, and you see the IH and the RH for internal high and residual high, and the internal low and residual low, and we managed to call this correctly when we called for the bottom back on the 7th of April, where we started to get out of our short positions and go to the long side. This is really important because there's a chance that we're going to make an internal high and maybe somewhere around here, a residual high. So this is what I would do. I'm not doing it yet. I'm only just demonstrating to show that this would say, I've been talking about this for a while, saying in May, towards the end of May, I'm anticipating May could be good, but as we go into the beginning of June, that's where we possibly could see some kind of digestive phase for the market. I have to start off calling it a digestive phase. But to get that, the Chapman Wave Dark News Index, if I don't have that, I used to call it the dark news cloud cover, but then you have a candle called a dark. It's the same thing, but I didn't want any relationship to the candle. It has nothing to do with the candle. It has to do with the atmosphere. It has to do with the weather. Actually, it has to do with the weather or not. We are hearing news that the market is going to perceive as bad news. Any other news, the market says, buy the dips, buy the dips. So until we get that, I'm not looking at the downside other than we've started a short position in the S&P. It's still up quite nicely. We started the other day. But this is just a feeler position, and we wanted to be in it. So far today, actually great. But hey, the day's young. I mean, now the Dow's up 14. This is what I'm saying, that, and it's the end of the month. So buying's going to be coming in. It's really Wednesday or so of next week that we're going to tell what's happening. So let me take this away, because this is what I'm anticipating in my mind. But the reality is on the page, and the page says, don't do anything yet in terms of looking at the downside as a serious blow to the downside. It would be a work in progress. That is selling pressure. But if the SMHs, that's the semiconductors, now they're probably coming back a little bit. Oh, I always do that. I forget to change windows. Changing the window now. Click. There it is. So the SMHs, which were down quite sharply earlier, are still down at down 343 at 240.65. To me, that's kind of a clue to say we're starting to see, with the fabulous news on NVIDIA, we're starting to see that there's not downside pressure, but it's the upside hasn't been able to break out again at this particular point. If the SMHs by Wednesday of next week are trading in the 252, 253 area, I'm just going to say to you, you know what? June might be the same as May. Maybe not the same aggressive as April, but it could be pretty good. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that we have like 8 or 10, actually more, but we have maybe core 6 to 8 stocks or indexes that I want to get in for subscribers on any sharp pullback, because I think in 2025 they are still going to do really well. We have positions that have done well. I mean, there's no question about it. But at the same time, we want to broaden that. So we'll be looking at it. So I had a couple of questions. I'm going to get to that right now before I go through the market. But Palantir question came in. Palantir, yeah, nice move today. It's up 3.25 at 125.54. See how it's walking the 9-period moving average? So in the Chapman methodology, if you go from a buy signal to a buy mode, one of the things we look for is when it's upgraded to the buy, from a buy signal to buy mode, that it should go to at least 4 higher peaks, peak A, B, C, and it should go to a D. At D, other things can happen. Well, we saw at D, it went to the 130s, and now it's pulled back, but it's taken its time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bars, and it hasn't broken down. It's just gone sideways, and that 9-period moving average is still good. But the MACD's turned down, the retro strength's turned down, stochastic's weak at 54%, the on-balance volume is still good. But it's the 914. I mean, I make a big deal about this. I've had webinars on it. That 914 can keep you in a trade longer than your wildest dreams. And in this particular instance, it went to peak D. I should put a down arrow because it's taken so much time, but it hasn't given the actual signal to say that it's weak. So I always do this, and I put a question mark. I'm not going to do anything right now, but I am saying this is still in the sweet spot. This is one of those that we haven't got. I spoke about it many times, just never got in, and it's had a fantastic move to the upside. Now it's digesting these gains. It made the cup formation in the weekly chart, Palantir, PLTR, up 386 at 126.17 right now, doing very nicely. If I drew in a trend line right there, look, a trend line, it's just about to take it out right now. So I like it, but it hasn't shown real strength. It'll show real strength if it suddenly goes to 129.71 in the next day or two. That'll say it's making a cup formation and it wants to retest the most recent high, all-time high of 133.49. Okay, so I have a question about that. And all I can say is that by Wednesday, this coming Wednesday or Thursday, if it closes under 118, that's going to say, sell signal to sell mode in the daily chart. But so far, it's done nothing. It's just gone sideways. Just had a spike in the market. Dow's up 49. S&P's now down only 7. So that's what I'm saying, that you've got to treat this with respect. And believe me, I've been around a long time. I have a lot of respect for the market. I have an expression, as you take your hands off the wheel to pat yourself on the back, that's when you hit the tree. The ego is just an incredible thing. It gets in the way of everything. So just look at the chart and deal with that. All right, so the other question came in, if I could look at FSLR. Here's your peak D. Look at this, peak D. Goes to just under 200 to 198. Beginning around about the 13th or so of May. Whoosh, it comes down. It's at 156 right now, up 7 cents at 156.02. First solar. I think there's going to be a place for the solar stocks. Right now, they're just having some problems. I'll be back. Basil Chapman, Tiger Ignitions Hour. Dow's up 37. S&P's down 8. I'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
So just let me go. I'll go through all the different indexes in a moment. But this is Technical Friday, so I like to do some technical stuff. Question about XLB, I see is mentioned here. 85.94 down 39 cents. You see that 200-period moving average? Look at that resistance, and it's going to be very hard for it to break above it. Not only that, you've got on the left side, you've got all the resistances in the 86, 87 area, and it's stuck. So right now it's just stuck, and if anything, you've got to be careful that it doesn't pull back under 84. If it's going to move up to get away from the 200-period moving average of 87.15, you need to see 88.90 to 90.30. Anywhere there, it says, finally I can move away. I'm using it as a pressure point for upward movement rather than as a magnet. All right, that's XLB. Question came in. Let me get to it right now about I'm short XLB. Okay. Yeah, I would look at it more. I haven't got a signal yet other than the technique that I use of the rectangle. The longer the narrow rectangle lasts, the greater the chances are that it'll pull back underneath the left side low, in this case, 84. If it closes under that, then you have to look at the next level of 83s as the next level of support. But it's actually holding pretty well. I'm not sure I would actually be short this right now, even though the weekly chart says peak A, peak B, and it could deflect lower because the 9-period moving average hasn't crossed positive. I just think it's kind of stuck, sideways move right now. RGTI. Rigetti Computing. I had this notated at some point. Now, I'm not sure it's because you pointed it out or it flashed onto my short-term under $10 stocks. I think it was an under $10 stock once. It went to peak A, B, C, D, instant restart, A, B, C, and another D, and it's pulling back. 12.26, a gap down, had a lousy turnaround yesterday. I just say be careful, because if it closes under 11.73, it's going to revisit the low of the 22nd of 10.94. It has, I'd say by Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, at least to start trading to yesterday's candle low of 13.05. It's at 12.27 right now, RGTI. Okay, now this is what I wanted to do. Yes, I was mentioning this when I did Tommy's Hour, a morning market kickoff, about stocks like a Procter & Gamble that has some pricing power, and it's moving up. It's up 54 cents at 169.10. In the den mentioned Bud. I have not looked at Bud for a while. I used to have it notated. Oh, look at that. New recovery, multi-year high, trading at 70.37. So this is what I like to do. Identify the lowest low bar. You have to pull back and we'll say, yeah, that's the lowest low bar right there, around about the 8th or so of April, and we count the peaks. Peak A right there, A, B, C, D, another peak A, B, B, C. Wow, this is choppy. It goes up and then it goes down. And then a continuation pattern of E, could be an alternate count, and F. I have so many E's and F's in the stocks that I'm looking at that I'm just saying, here again, might be just a moment's caution. You've got A, B in the weekly chart, C, that's not that's not a high. That's a parallel. So here we go. 67.55, 67.60, so that becomes D. Yeah, this is done very well. This is, Bud is Anheuser-Busch, and A, B, C, in leg D in the monthly chart. Always pull back to see where we are. Look at that. Once upon a time up in the 130s, plunges down to the 30s, 37 or so level. Now it's gone peak A, B. That's just starting point. So every peak is counted A, B, pulls back, A, that's still a B, and then it finally goes to a C and a D. Okay. Yeah, this is very good action. This is exactly what I'm saying, that the defensive stocks have done very nicely. They have pricing power, and that's really important. So stocks with pricing power are showing some resiliency here and doing very nicely. The next thing we want to do is, did that. Yeah, so you've got, Coke. Look at that, Coke all-time high just the other day, 70 up in the 74s, pulls back. Peak D in the weekly chart did that cup formation. It's almost like a handle formation now. Peak G/C, Coca-Cola still looks very strong. It's up 44 cents at 71.93. So the question came in. Where did it go? Did it just go? Yeah, let me do this if you don't mind. I'm going to run this and then I'll go to the different indices. Look, RACE. This is Ferrari. Ferrari makes an all-time high in February. Pulls back very sharply from the 5 teens, comes all the way down to the 390 level. Whoosh, it comes back in a V-shaped pattern, just like the best of the best have done. And then it stalls. This stalling action is really what keeps me just a little bit cautious, because if they broke above, like GE broke above the V-shaped pattern decisively, that is really good action. So peak F in the daily chart. This is Ferrari. Now, the reason why I like to look at Ferrari, this is discretionary income, but from people who don't have to be the very wealthy, but they are people with desires and they are spenders. And now you've got yourself up in the high register. It's at 480 right now, up at $1.78. All-time high is so it's at 480. 509.13 was the all-time high. So yeah, it's holding very well, but it has pulled back from the most recent high. So that's why I'm saying, I'm just looking at this, I'm saying, you got to be a little careful here. But if there isn't bad news, buyers will come in, and we've seen that. You remember I was talking about Palantir. Look at this, Palantir is now up 4. It's breaking that trend line resistance. This is one. This one could still be appealing because it's technology, Palantir Technologies, PLTR, develops data fusion platforms. It's really part of the military. Military seems to be getting money, so that's why I'm looking at it. IYT, this is the transportation index, is failing. That to me is a bit of a worry, but it's been this way for some time because it's a very complex thing looking at the transportation index, the iShares transportation average, ETF. I mean, that's a handful, right? And the monthly chart is not that great. So they're sitting there saying, hey, don't be sanguine. And that's really what I'm trying to say. There is a cloud, but not a dark cloud cover right now. And I have to respect that. Okay, now we can do this. Just quick review. QBTS, I can't remember what the question was. It's done very nicely now. This is a peak D. Peak D is where it's pulling back. Those Ds are formidable in the Chapman methodology. If they start to pull back, it can be deeper than you anticipate. It's trading at 16.16, down 11 cents. It's done fantastically. It was in the 8s, just at the beginning, the second week of May. And then it screams up to the 19 area, and now it's the 16 taking a breather, and it's a leg E, a peak E possibly. Yeah, a peak E in the weekly chart, a leg E in the monthly. D-Wave quantum computing. I'll be right back. Dow's up 37, S&P's down, only down 6 right now. Here you go.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Tiger Technicians Hour is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, folks. So we're back, and so I just wanted to say, I had a question about PepsiCo. See, Coca-Cola, different product line, doing really well, holding steady, not breaking out, not breaking down, just kind of sideways, but up in the higher range, much higher range. And the all-time high is up in the 72, 74 double top area, and it's trading at 71.81. Pepsi has a completely different, they have other products as well. And if you look at the chart, it's not good. And I said to subscribers, we're going, it's an old thing that I used to do a long time ago, and I'm back to it again. For this particular phase, I said, I only want for my subscribers things that are really working. I don't want to put in to say, well, it looks like it really could start to move in 2000. I want things that are active. I want to see movement immediately. There's no time now to start waiting. It's got to be a working proposition. PepsiCo is not that. Now, there's a very difference that Coca-Cola is. PepsiCo is not. We don't have either of these. But if you look at the question came in about Biogen, B-I-I-B, Biogen, this is the biotech area. Look at the daily chart, how beautifully it's gone. Peak A, B, C, pulls back, then goes to D, N, and E. Most importantly, look at the weekly chart, just starting to improve. That's different. That one says on a short-term basis, it is doing very well. In an intermediate weekly basis, it is lousy, but it's improving. The monthly chart is just, you don't even want to look at it. It just looks like a one-to-one to the downside, and it's now just trying to find some kind of a base. But look at the ictus in the on-balance volume in the monthly chart. Look what happened in the weekly, and look at this choppiness in the daily, and it says this is more like it if you're one of those people that wants to buy and are prepared to wait. Biogen, a great company, been around a long time, is way better than, say, PepsiCo. This is the way it's looking at this particular moment. That might change by next week, but looking longer term, when the 9-period moving average eventually crosses positive in the weekly chart, and I don't know if it will, it didn't for a year, but if it does that, finally you'll be able to say, now you can tackle the left side high of 157.09 that was made the week of the 14th of March. Then you got yourself a cup formation. So I see something like a Biogen, that's speculative, but you're looking at daily leads to the weekly. Weekly is not yet picked up, and then weekly will finally go to the monthly. But you have to go one step at a time. The daily is improving enough to say 125 is your risk. You're at 131. If it goes to 133 to 134 next week, that's exactly the action that you want to see. So I just wanted to deal with that. Next thing I want to look at is okay, so now I want to go back to what we were looking at before. So I'm going to do this. Let me run this all again. The Dow. Let me look at this again. And what did I hit? Probably typed it into the den. No, I didn't. INDU. The Dow right now is up 38. Look how it's walking the 9-period moving average. That's the reason why we've remained long. Don't want to do anything. I don't want to change anything. Actually, we are long from there. Back in 22. No. We're actually long from there in 2020 in March. We still have that long position from the low, the exact low of 2022. We've got those long positions. But this last one is, this is one that we actually got in on the very day of the low. Then we got stopped out, unfortunately, April the 7th, and we had to get back in again. So now we're looking at this more. I have to treat this in a little different way because we got in a little higher, 3 times long, but still. it has a different connotation. So let me just give you the outlook that I have. For next week, if the Dow, which is at up 37 at 42,254, let me give you the bigger picture here. If at any point in June, it takes out, first part of June, it takes out 42,842, the high of 2 weeks ago, that's very good action, and that'll start leg C in the weekly chart, and I'm almost sure that the 9 period in the weekly chart will finally turn positive. If instead we do the dreaded H and we take out the low of 5 sessions ago, which is 41,354, we close under it, and then that 200 period moving average becomes a deflection point for the downside, then I have to look at 31,150 as the next step. I don't see at this particular point, it's a whole step thing unless it's really bad news. Remember the dark news cloud cover, it has to be there. And I need it to be able to say, I can put in this chart right here, that rectangle that says, getting choppy. And now we can start to see internal high and a residual high, and we take that out. But I'm going to wait until the close today, and we'll make a decision about that, because it will change a lot of things if I get this DNI, which is the Dark News Index, Chapman Wave Dark News Index. But at this point, it's not there. I'm not going to force it. I'm thinking it's going to be there by Monday or Tuesday, but thinking is different to acting. So right now, it's very important. So you can see on a Monday, take out 41,828, the low of yesterday, says, you're starting to arch over the dreaded H pattern, right? We haven't done that. S&P, same thing, except it's a little bit better. Look, the 9 period moving average flipped positive this week. I have to wait for the close today, but if it stays L, it's a good sign. It doesn't say, that's great, because what you need is see the amplitude of the natural be green if it stays there. The 9 period moving average has to move sharply above the 14 to say now you've got an acceleration to the upside. So that's a work in progress. Make it simple. A close in the next few days below 58.50. We're at 59.08. Says, be careful, because you could make that H pattern. But on a weekly basis, if you start to see a close below 57.67.4, let's call it 57.66. That was the low, that's just below the low of the 23rd, 5 sessions ago. I'm going to say to you, be careful, because you could go down deeper than that. So just a work in progress. On the upside, above 59.68, no, I'm going to say above 59.73, into that 70s area. That would be very good action, right? Let's go to the IWM. QQQ. So the QQQ has been stuck. It's now better than it was. It's down 31 cents, 31 cents at 519.66. A close, now this is different. A close in the 537 or higher area, that's a long way to go. It's 20 points. But a close anytime, say in the next week, would say, wow, you are going straight to the all-time high. And that all-time high was the double top, 539.15 December, slumps down to the 398 area, and then it comes back to where? 540.81, fraction higher, peak E, and it comes all the way down to the low of 398. I'll be back in a moment. Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians Hour.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Hi folks, we're back and we're looking at Ulta Beauty, up 53 at 474.20. So that's what I'm talking about, pricing power. So that goes well. And there's one that I followed for years. We once had it. It didn't work out well, but I followed it for years. Odd is the name, Oddity Tech Limited. Beauty products, all-time high as we speak, or just about all-time high. Leg C in the monthly chart, only a leg B in the weekly chart. And it gapped down huge the other day. I mean, makes a high on the 12th of May of 73 point, round numbers 73. And then it plunges the next day, goes down to 58.05. And then it goes peak A. Peak B, no, that's a C. We're at a C and we're almost at a D. Yeah, this is great. This is the rectangle formation. I love this pattern which says if you make high highs and higher lows, you should get to the previous high just on it, just under it, or just over it, and then you've got to be a bit careful. And it's just done that. The high that was made at the round number 71. Yeah, 3 days ago we went to 70. Was it 71? 73. Sorry, 73. The color is gray, so it's really hard to see. In this case, it went to 73.60. Oh, it had 73 the day before. Then it went to 73.67, and today's high is 73.65. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pricing power, these are the things that are going to be working. Cosmetics, remember, people pay whatever it takes in cosmetics until they really get squeezed. People want to look good. Okay, well, now I want to do this. So let's go to the QQQ. Now I want to go to the NDX 100. So I haven't had a chance to redo. So the QQQ is one thing. The NDX is the core index. The QQQ is a trading vehicle. Most importantly, the NDX has to take out 22,222.61, the high of the 19th of Feb. And if it does that, that's going to be really impressive. Why? Because the all-time high is 22,222.61. So, yeah. So that's going to be very important. Oh, that was the very same high. That's the high. that we want to see if it's going to be. In the meantime, it's got tremendous support. I would say first support would be in the 20,800 level. If at any point in the next 10 days it actually trades into the gap and it goes underneath 20,611, that's going to be a problem. All right, but in the meantime, it's just holding very nicely. I do think, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, I believe that we are in the process of digesting gains, and that this first week or two of June is really something I'm going to be monitoring very, very closely. All right, now with that said, let's go to the gold again. Gold has taken a bit of a hit. It was down just 20-something. Now it's down 41. But look, the 9-period moving average is still good, but it's very close to arching over. So this is what I wanted to do. It's Technical Friday. Look, this is out of place. It served its purpose. Now it's gone. So I like to take this trend line and I'll move it up there. I'll take that trend line and I'll move it there. Now I've got some very clear parameters, and says to me that gold has strong, the GDX, the gold minus, no, that's gold, sorry, gold has, it made a peak A minus, failed, and now it's got another A, and it could fail again, making a series of lower highs and lower lows in this kind of sequence, this arching over sequence, and that is your resistance area. If gold in June, anytime in June, trades in the 34.58 to 34, I haven't done that for a while, 34.62 area, that's going to be very important, because it says, aha, now you can tackle the 34.76 continuous contract high of the 7th of May. But right now it's making lower lows and lower highs, not breaking down. The weekly chart is still looking pretty good. The monthly chart is still looking very good. It's just digesting gains and taking a little time. Let's look at the GDX. It's not the same pattern. The GDX finally is actually a more bullish pattern than the gold chart itself. I wouldn't say bullish in the sense that, oh man, it's breaking out. It's not. It's already made a peak D under the previous peak F. I usually don't like that. I say you've got to have an instant restart to recycle sharply high. In other words, within 3 sessions, you've got to have a higher high than that peak D. And that's at 50.64. So if it can get to the 51 area by Monday or Tuesday, that's going to be very good. That's going to say, aha, now I can see you tackling the high of 53.25 that was made on the 21st of April. But at any point, if the GDX trades, it can't just sneak under it. It has to trade under 48.53 for a couple of days. That's that dreaded H-band and says, oh, you can go lower. But right now, look, this weekly chart's looking good. Monthly chart is looking good. Isn't that fascinating? So this is kind of catch up in the stocks themselves. Let's go to silver, SI trading. Let's see, silver is trading down 33 cents, stuck in this range, rectangle range. That can last quite a while, but if it takes out 32, if it closes under 31.90, at 31.80 at any point in the next week or so, that's going to be very poor. It could go sideways, but if it closes above 34.67, I would say that is nice action. But right now it's just stuck, all right? Did that. Just real quickly, crude oil, trading down 26 cents here at 60.69. Just stuck in this arching over pattern, but it's not really breaking down. It will break down if it starts to close. I would say under 59, it looks like it could go quite a bit deeper. But right now, it's just sideways. It is arching over, but I haven't got the 9-period moving average yet turned pink. If it does that, you can go quite a bit lower. Let's see what happens there. Now, I want you to do something that is very important in terms of just in terms of looking at the market from the perspective of the biggies. AMZ, Amazon, just sideways trading, not breaking down, not breaking up. It looks like it wants to arch over, make the dreaded H pattern. It's at 204.89 right now, down 80 cents. If at any point it breaks 197, that's 7 points lower, it closes under 197, it's got a timeout in June, if it does that in early June. But right now it's holding okay. If it breaks to the upside, it has to get to 218. Let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft trading right now, made a peak D, just real weak upside action, but very strong in the sense that look at this peak leg B in the weekly chart. That is really good action. What I'm saying is, look, it's taken a lot of time. I have a pattern. I don't want to take time right now. I call it the snail. It's like a little snail walking up the branch of a tree. You just got this tiny little stuff, and it just slowly, it's like a tanker. You don't see a super tanker. You don't see it turning because it takes so much time. But it has moved very nicely in an instant restart to yet another D. And that D says, now we got to see what happens. We are long from 338. We've still got that position. But I'm looking at this because this is one of the leaders in the tech field. So I'll get to it when we return for the final segment. But remember, I'm looking at the chance that this first week or two of June is going to be the clue to whether or not we have a digestive phase and how deep it is if it does occur. I'll be right back.
This year has already been a wild ride for the market. We started off heavily in the red, reversed back to all-time highs, and we now have a trade war looming. Trying to play this chop as an individual trader leads to death by 1,000 cuts. Where does this market go next? Should I add to this position or cut my losses? Where is the next opportunity? Tariffs, trade wars, analysis paralysis. Don't become a victim of this intense market. Instead, join Larry Pesavento over the second and fourth Friday of every month for 3 hours of live trading. Larry has been through many markets just like this one, and the insight he provides is invaluable. The dates for this month are April 11th and 25th, 9 a.m. to noon Eastern Time. Get in here and let's start trading. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
So just to wrap up, between 2 hours of a lot of detail, let me just do this here. Look, GE is one of our clues, one of our clue stocks. We are long G, but it made an instant restart. Chapman instant restart at PT just above the previous high, and now it's gone to E/A. Remember, you have to, if it's within 3 bars, you have an alternate count. E/A, in your mind A, F/ in your mind B, G/ C, in your mind, 246 round number high. Today's high is 245.40. So if it just takes it by a snippet and then closes under it, that says, okay, keep an eye on this because it's acting well, all-time highs. Hood is my other clue. We're a long hood from the 16s. It's trading right now at 64. 67.17 GSASC. I'm not sure this one will make that leg D. We'll see what happens. But these are clues. If they start to turn down, these are leaders that are telling you market is now more serious about pulling back. But right now, I would just say to you, you got to one step at a time and see what happens. Look at this, the instant restart. Look what happened here. And this is the 1 minute chart. Doesn't matter if it's a 1 minute chart or a monthly chart. There's your instant restart right there in the 1 minute chart. A peak D goes immediately to an A, B, C, D, E, and it goes to an F. And you go from the 59.20 level straight down to the low of 59.06. And now you're trying to come back. Why? The 200 period moving average support. You can't ignore it. There it is, a magnet in the 5 minute chart, and it's a target in the 10-minute chart. Can it get there to a leg D today? We'll see what happens. And that would be up at the 59.22 level will be a leg D. So I like to go one step at a time, daily, weekly, monthly. This is 1 minute, 5 minute, 10-minute chart. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to hand you over to Steve Rhodes. Should be a wonderful show as always. And check out my opening call daily newsletter. And I have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see what happens. Let's see what the close is like today because it's the end of the month. There should be some buying, but we'll see if there's later on some selling. Meantime, back at the ranch, I'm just saying have a wonderful weekend. I will see you on Monday. Basil Chapman signing off.